This is Urdizzle back again with a slightly later overview of my daily tournament ending on June 21st. And so my bag for this round is the usual accurate windbreak fuse, river, musket, my traditional lineup. And then I've got my wind glide recoil, my light glide ballista, and my roller. I don't know why I have that one in here, but I actually only use 4 discs for this round. I probably could only use 3 if I wanted to redo it, but this is going to be a 4 disc round. So hole 1 is my musket. This is pretty standard stuff. There is a spot here where you can grind for the ace with a ballista, but I decided not to do that. In fact, I hadn't done that at this point. I was not grinding, I was just kind of playing through the round to see what would happen. Then hole 2 is, by the code in the game, this is actually one of the harder holes on Windswept, the island. And so I like to throw a river, and that was pretty close. I can usually give that a decent ace run, but yep, that is definitely one of the harder holes according to the difficulty ratings in the game. And so that's also another one where I've got a good shot at acing that one. Then hole 3 is the Mando hole. I'm just going to throw my river up here. So the first few holes here, there's really not a lot to them. You're just kind of going birdie, birdie, birdie. Again, there's a grind here, but I'm kind of past the point where I really want to grind these. I just kind of want to play. But it's definitely there if you wanted to fight for it. So then we shift to Oak Hill, so you know you're going to be getting some par 4s, at least 1, most likely 2 or 3. And so hole 4 is the downhill Mando hole, and now you throw my light glide. And I do like how the light glide is flying in the 926 update. In 912, it was way, way, way more overstable, and so I would have a tendency to have that skip down and go way to the right. So that's kind of nice to have it sit there and slide up nicely for me. This hole, however, is much, much, much more difficult. I used to feel very comfortable with a roller on this hole, but now I'm just throwing my light glide ballista and hoping to get within 130, 140. And this one I left way, way short. I think it's 170, 173. And if you've watched my earlier videos, I love throwing the forehand fuse, and I am just lethal with it. And so this one right here, I was giving it a run, and I hit that dead center. It's a little harder to do that in multiplayer because if you miss, you're going way, way, way long and sliding down that hill. So you got to be a little more aware of what's going on and how close you are. Hole 6, I'm not running that one. I'm just playing for the birdie. Again, that's one if you really want to grind, you could probably try for the ace there. And then we shift to Sunshine. And you basically know if Sunshine's going to pop up on a daily, you better come out of it at least 4 or 5 under or you're behind. So hole 7 is actually hole 1 Sunshine, and I've said that I've been having some issues with this one, but that one I hit nicely. Hung it out a little to the right, but... And then hole 8, another one I'm going to throw the forehand river. I really, really, really want to ace this one, otherwise I feel like I'm behind. And so put it out there, and I hit the second one. So that's very nice getting back-to-back aces on that. And so going into hole 9, you know you're going to have to eagle this one. And it's got a tailwind of 2, so my goal is just to get it up over there and hope I don't hit any trees. And that was not the line I was going for, so I was extremely lucky to miss those. And so it slid down, kept me up on the hill, so I've got a clean shot, but it's slightly downhill, 94 feet. So this is by no means a gimme, especially with the 2 wind, but I was able to hit that. And this was one of my first early runs through, so I didn't really do much early on because I didn't grind, but I really finished strong with 5 of 6 eagles. And so I think I scored this within the first hour of the daily dropping. And so right out of the gate, when I posted my score, I was 3 strokes ahead of everybody. So I felt pretty good about that 16, and even if someone beat me, I was not going to try to mess with that. And in the end, that score held, so Lonely Belgium, I think, posted that near the end, but that 14 under held. Now, I did play a little bit more after that, and I'm going to give you guys a little bonus coverage on this one. So I only tried this for about another 15, maybe 20 minutes after I posted that 14 under. So what I'm going to show you guys is actually the first 5 holes of what was a really, really good run. And so this is hole 1 where I'm using that ballista I talked about, and it took me about 10 or 15 shots to get that one. And so it's just, anytime you get those hole-in-ones that are over 300, they just look so nice going in. And then hole 2, I really wanted to get this one with my river. And so you got to be a little careful with the wind, but in the air, I thought that had a really, really good chance and just didn't quite stay to the right enough. So, but still, getting a hole-in-one on hole 1, I'm a stroke ahead of where I would normally be in my, at least where I was with my 14 under. So that's a pretty good way to start. And then hole 3, I have got a hole-in-one on this before, but that is just, I don't even know if anybody would actually try to grind that or how many of you have actually got a hole-in-one on this one, but I mean, you're happy with the birdie. So then skipping ahead to the par 4, again, I'm using my Light Glide Ballista, playing it on a little hyzer, and I'm probably not going to get as good as I did before. Again, the idea is just slide it anywhere down there within 80 feet. And that one leaked a little bit out to the right. That is what I used to do in the 912 update. And so I'm 117 feet here, but I mean, if you've watched any of my stuff, I'm giving that a good run. So I was able to hit that, which was pretty good. And then hole 5, so this is probably the reason why I didn't really grind this layout, because this is an extremely tough eagle to get. Now, if you're on the 912 update, you could probably throw a roller and get it more consistently, but it's one of those where you're not going to get on a regular basis. So 142 feet, and I'm going to do my forehand fuse again. And I don't know what it is, like I just found my groove with these, but I absolutely love hitting those. And so I got the eagle. Now, the video is going to cut off because I then shifted to hole 6 and then Sunshine, and I basically completely butchered Sunshine. I didn't ace either of the 2 par 3s, and I ended up hitting a tree and going out of bounds on the par 4. So this beautiful round, what could have been, did not end very well, but it at least shows you that there are some strokes out there if you really wanted to try for that 15 under, but I did not. So hopefully you enjoyed a little bonus coverage, and I will be back soon.